Shalom and welcome to my moment of Torah. I want to wish you a happy and a healthy new year, the year of 2020. And I pray that it will bring us blessing and prosperity, health and happiness, and above all, peace. Now, I don't yet have grandchildren of my own, but there are a few kids out there who call me Rabbi Grandma, and it's something I cherish. I don't get to see them often, because they do have families of their own as well. But it occurs to me that while the Torah loves genealogies and loves to list a person's descendants down through several generations, until this week's Parsha, Vayechi, the Torah is silent about any actual relationship between grandparents and grandchildren. It begins, Vayechi, and Jacob lived 17 years in Egypt. Once he was reunited with his favored, beloved son Joseph, for whom he had been grieving the past 30-plus years. At this point, when Joseph heard that Jacob was ill, he brought his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, born in Egypt, to visit. I'm reminded of being very young and going to Brooklyn and my mother taking my sister and me to visit our great-grandmother, Grandma Becky, in a nursing home. But Joseph's sons are teenagers now, and I have to wonder why they hadn't visited their grandfather before. And perhaps they did, but the text doesn't tell us that. It does tell us that Jacob's eyesight was poor because of his advanced age, and he didn't recognize the two young men standing with his son. Once they were presented, he asked that God, who blessed him and kept him from harm, bless Joseph's sons. This doesn't happen with any of Jacob's other grandchildren, and it makes me wonder what makes this relationship special. Now, it could be that Jacob has a special place in his heart for the children of his favored son, and it could be that Joseph, having been separated from his father for so long, wanted to make up for lost time. Or that he could have been obeying the commandment to kabed et avicha v'et imecha, honor your father and your mother, and this was his way of showing honor. Another possibility is one that is as relevant today as ever, and not only in the Jewish community. Will my grandchildren follow in my traditions and my faith? Assimilation isn't new, and when families are separated because of distance, often for very valid reasons, the values of the older generations aren't as easily passed down. Manasseh and Ephraim were the only two of Jacob's grandchildren born in Egypt to a presumably Egyptian mother. Their father was second in command to Pharaoh. Did he still practice his faith and believe in God? Jacob needed to be reassured before he died, and Joseph allowed this to happen. The prayer that we know as the Shema are Deuteronomy 6, verses 4 through 9, beginning with Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. When we say these verses in prayer, an extra statement is inserted, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Blessed is the name of God's glorious kingdom forever and ever. In traditional congregations, that inserted verse is said quietly, except on Yom Kippur, which is a discussion for another time. Here the story goes that Jacob was worried about his grandson's commitment to Judaism, and Ephraim and Manasseh assured him. Shema Yisrael, listen, Israel, which was Jacob's other name. The Lord is our God, one God, to which Jacob responded, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed, as a way of saying that he was blessed with grandsons who would follow his faith. To this day, parents bless their sons at Shabbat dinner with Jacob's words, Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim v'chi Manasseh. May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh. To me it means, may God help you to be someone who values the teachings of your elders, just like Ephraim and Manasseh. And no matter how old our children or grandchildren, and God willing great-grandchildren are, they will always benefit from our knowledge, our wisdom, our presence, and our blessing. I wish you a good rest of the week and a Shabbat Shalom.